AI in ServiceNow and Automate Pro. In this particular example, a team is getting ready to upgrade their service operations workspace for enterprise use. Right now, it's primarily used by the service desk team. So what we want to do is create a automated test case of how to use the primary features of service operations workspace in an automated test. Then take that automated test and convert that to automated documentation that will allow users to understand how to use the new technology with step-by-step process guides for getting that done. Here we have the service operations workspace and an introduction to that workspace. As you start to log in, you will begin your day. Different than the list views that we are used to using for IT service management, where we'll go in and look at incidents and sort the list and filter the list. Service Operations Workspace offers an overview of outages, service announcements, assignments that are coming due, and what you need to prioritize for today and tomorrow. With quick links and getting started, Service Operations Workspace really helps you to manage tickets, incidents, interactions, which is a new feature for people that are outside of the service desk, as well as their request items, their CMDB reference and registration material for configuration management for what is running where and who owns it, as well as change management and knowledge management for how do I solve these problems, how do I get started, what are the frequently asked questions I can use to help my users to experience a better experience with the products I support. Service Operations Workspace is designed with the functionality to reach out to the other experts that are on call within your team. It's important to learn how to use the foundational aspects of Service Operations Workspace now. In your present release, Washington, for example, Washington, D.C. Standard or Pro, learn how to use the basic functionalities of ServiceNow and its single pane of glass view into the types of tickets for ITSM that we handle. As well, because when we get to Xanadu, which is ServiceNow's most exciting release, you'll be able to also use AI-driven service management directly from your Service Operations Workspace. So you can extend your opportunity for collaboration, for resolution, for actually analyzing your similar incidents that are happening, any trends in the environment, any knowledge articles that have been created to help you solve the problem, and similar incidents that are either open or recently resolved to give you a recipe for resolve, tailored recommendations to deliver service operational excellence, bringing your best self with the best of what is already in ServiceNow. So let's take a look with no further ado to the Service Operations Workspace. We open into the home, which is a view of who you are, what incidents are assigned to you in a gear sort of view where you have a visual indicator of what incidents are on hold and what are priority to work right now. You see that we have 17 incidents assigned to you. If you click into the ones that are in progress, it will allow you to see a card view of all the lists assigned to you, or a list view if you happen to prefer that. And then you can use sorting within that list view as you prefer to see that type of information. Let's go back to the card view. That shows incidents assigned to you, incident SLAs when you have SLAs that apply, and unassigned incidents to your team that need to be acknowledged by priority. So you would want to, of course, first go in to respond to those that are critical that no one has acknowledged first. And I'm hoping that this really clearly illustrates how teams can work more effectively than we could when we were just working from a list view. Now you could actually see what are the P1 assigned incidents and where can I add value. So you could take ownership of these incidents. You could see if this is a trend across your environment. You could actually use any record information, who it's assigned to. If it's not assigned, take ownership, and then start to look for agent assistance for, how do I solve this problem? And we find that we might have a knowledge article for that. If we do not, we can check who our experts are that are on call that I could reach out to if I need to contact somebody else. And I could add any attachments or templates for resolving that right within my single pane of glass view into this incident. The convenient thing about service operations workspace, different than the list views, is you'll notice that your home is always home and everything open stays open until you deliberately action and close it. Very interrupt driven for our IT world. So let's say as you're going through your incidents for the day and unassigned incidents to prioritize what you need to work on, as far as incidents go, you say you get a call. Hey, can you look at, you get a call and it's Beth England. Beth England wants to know if you could possibly do a proof of concept of Service Automate Pro's capabilities for can Automate Pro use service operations workspace to create a new interaction. So what we're really saying is, Beth wants me to see if I can do this. And then I would go in and add any work notes about what we talked about, what Beth needs when she needs it, and what is the best way to fulfill it. This is not something that we typically use in our day-to-day, but the service desk certainly does whenever there's a caller or a message or chat or even a video meeting. You could actually create an interaction from that. Now, the cool thing about this is as soon as you save this, you have a contextual reference. I'm Fred. I know I had this conversation. I know when I had it, and I know who I talked to and how to call them or reach them, how they reached me initially. I can look at things like any tasks that were assigned to her that are related to this. I can look at her assets and any recent interactions. So when we look at interactions, you can look at what are all the interactions open in the system right now and who's working on them. What are the active interactions that are in our environment right now? And what do I need to action? Interactions are kind of like Post-it notes. You can work on them until you can convert them to an incident or a change, or you can manually create a linkage to another ticket and just close out that task as abandoned with work notes. It just allows you to keep a good record of what you talked about when, with contextual help, attachments, all referenceable from within the convenient service operations workspace. So we've covered interactions. You already know requests. If your team manages service catalog items, you can see a list of all open requests and what state that they are in, as well as open items that are waiting for approval, pending approval, or actively being fulfilled. Catalog tasks refer to those that are assigned to you or your team. And incidents are you can look at all incidents that are assigned to you. I'm Fred Luddy and I'm very busy. I've got so many incidents that are assigned to me, but what's priority? What do I need to work on first? Well, certainly the planning ones do not take priority. So I would go in and sort my list by what are the most critical incidents that I need to act on. Now I've already got that in my overview if we look at all of the incidents that are assigned to me, I can actually view the P1 incidents. I'm used to the list view. I can see the way I'm used to seeing that. But now remember, we're working differently. We can actually see the most critical ones are at the top of our list for what we need to work on. So we don't even really need to think about filtering what's priority. It's filtered for us. Sometimes we need to go in and look for a ticket. This is a really nice way to see what's assigned to me. What are all the tickets that are open? Or if somebody says something like, hey, I think we had a ticket like that in the past, you can look through recently resolved or all and sort by closed to see what are those critical priorities that might have been closed recently. All of this is filterable using the common filters that you use in ServiceNow to filter on, incident priority, search for short description, color, business service, etc. We've covered incidents. When an incident is recurrent, you might want to assign a problem, or you might want to associate an incident with a known problem. This allows you to look at what are all the open incidents the open problems that we're working on that we might want to solve or associate one of our open incidents to. In this case, what you could do is if you see a problem that is related to your incident, you can look at the related records and see that we only have one incident related to I can't get my weather report. You can add your related incident by searching through the filter and selecting the particular incident that you're working on that's related to that problem. Add that to the list, and then I can't get my weather report can be searched for on my issue as well as Charlie Witherspoon's. So we save that. If we wanted to manage a task, if we saw something that we needed to do to resolve this faster, we can create a problem task or a change request. We can assign tasks to ourselves, or we can continue with the problem. In this case, we're just going to update the record with my incident associated with the problem with WeatherBug. Now let us go back to problems. We've covered incident, problem. I'm going to close this problem ticket because I've done all I needed to do with that. We've covered looking at problems. We've covered associating an incident to a problem. We can also look at all open or recently closed problems. We can sort those by state. We can look at where we've got recent fixes or solutions. Let's say, for example, we've got we've got an Exchange server that's had regular outages. Well, we've applied fixes. We can go in, if we have an incident related to a server outage, we can go in and see if this fix could apply and if there's anything we need to do to help solve that particular problem. So I'm hoping you could see with Service Operations Workspace how centralized information allows us to relate, transfer, and deliver service operations more effectively. We also can view all open changes or all recently submitted changes, searching them by risk, or if we wanted to look at a particular start date that's coming, like for example, if there is an outage, you could search on a start date to see what happened or what was changing in the environment on a given date. Allows you to see all open tickets, which is probably the best way, open change tickets, to see the planned start date. Close that. The next is, let me see all tasks that are assigned to me. This can be change tasks, incident tasks, service catalog, any task items that are assigned. So you could actually view those by the number, which will indicate if it's a change or an incident, the priority, and what task type it originated from. You can also see those that are assigned to your group that are not yet owned and take ownership of those when they're assigned to as empty. CMDB allows you to track and maintain what's running where and who owns it for your application, your cloud, databases, devices, servers, and services. From this, you can actually click into any of these attributes that you're looking for to associate a configuration item, be that an application, a server, whatever your device or your service says. You can see what are your most critical business services by name and who manages them and owns them. Manages being who is the operational contact I might need to reach out to if I have a related issue and I have questions, or who is it owned by if I have something that needs to be attested, certified, corrected, resolved, that is not of an operational but more of a service related issue. And last but not least, in fact, last but very important, is knowledge management. So here you can view a list of all articles that have been written in your knowledge base. You can also sort your drafted and unpublished articles and your published articles. If this is empty, you should fix that. You can go to your recently closed incidents and find out which ones would make good solutions that would help you write a knowledge article once and you publish it in your knowledge base. You allow that solution to help people for the future. So write it once, help one, write a knowledge base article, and then you have a step-by-step process for what is the issue, what category does it fit under, what are we solving with this knowledge article, how are we solving it. You can provide links, attachments, videos, any type of content, and save that. So my challenge to you is to think about, if you search for knowledge and you don't find it, when you find the solution, create the knowledge, and then you can see this from your service operations workspace. What are you working on, and what have you published, and what are your tasks around that? You can also look at all other articles that were or are in the pipeline being created, and you can use that to solve problems and create content. I hope this was a useful presentation of the key features of Service Operations Workspace. We've covered the overview, the way that these widgets chart and prioritize what we're working on, how we can view those incidents in the convenient card prioritized view or the list view, whatever is our way of working. When you're in the list view, you can export that out to an Excel format so that you can create other presentations, documentation, analysis, what have you. You can add to the columns that you have in this list view, but let's go back to, now we have our card view of all incidents. As you click on these, if you want to see what's on hold, click on the on hold, and you'll see you have one ticket on hold. How do I create a subfolder? Not urgent. Then I look at what's assigned to my team and where do I need to add value. Well, red's hot, one is critical, and there's 3 of them open, all related to wireless access. Are they related issues or not? You could actually use these cards, or you can put it into a list view and create an analysis of what's going on in the environment. Now understand how this works, because as you start to work incidents in your environment that are priority and not owned, you could actually, you assign them to yourself. You can begin to use the incident agent assist to find out knowledge that already exists that could help you solve the problem. You can automatically associated impacted configuration items for that incident. Anything you know as you're validating the nature of the incident. You can reach out to whoever's on call in the workspace. In this case, it's ITIL user. If you need more information to help solve that particular issue, you can add attachments, screenshots, videos, validations, anything that helps to resolve the issue. You can also look at related records. Let's say, for example, you have a network group resolution that's in progress. You could actually go into that record and look at what that is and how it's working, this is ticket management at its finest. Learn how to do this in Service Operations Workspace, because even more, better, and faster is being prepared when AI and predictive intelligence starts to analyze these priority one incidents and recommend solutions from best practices and help you solve problems more quickly. So learning to use the operations workspace and get ready for using AI to solve problems in addition to your collaboration features. Thanks for dialing in. On our next step in the journey, I will show you how to use AI to create an automated test of the service operations workspace features. Just going to start with one feature, maybe interactions to begin with, since that's a new and fairly simple thing. Basically, it allows you to, the life cycle of an interaction begins with create a interaction, and assign it, work it, close it. You close it by closing it, canceling it, creating another incident or change request, or creating a ticket and then associating that original interaction so none of that's lost. Provides continuity to who did we talk to? How did I talk to them? Work's busy. This allows us to track and manage our work effectively. And when AI comes, it allows us to bring more AI-driven solutions so we can prioritize AI to fix the tough things while we focus on value. I'm going to stop sharing. And